Hello, hello. Welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller, and it is Friday night. It's a great night. I never come alone.
Hi, it's Ryan, aka the Fire Guy. Occasionally, I have decided to join Bueller tonight.
Yes, he is here on Bueller's channel, which is great. Sorry, I had a little bit of volume mix up on my end. But Ryan makes the rounds. He goes from Comic Tom. He was on, I think you're on White Whale or John's Comics with Kids the other night. Was that correct?
I was on John's channel, yeah, last week, I think.
And now you're gracing my presence, which I am just totally honored to have Fire Guy Ryan.
I'm a giver.
On here with me as well. And he's a giver. And just in case you guys are wondering, the Bueller boxes are on sale as we speak. They just went live about a minute ago. There's 66 Bueller boxes available, and my phone is already buzzing, and they are already starting to sell right now. So it's very cool. Ryan, you got a Bueller box, right?
I don't have one like pre-ordered or anything. I don't know if I can set one aside, but
you got one. You got one from the first round, though.
I did get one from the first round, yes, sir.
And how do you like the key that was in there? You love that key, or did you just give it away?
Just handed it away. I am a giver.
You are a giver. Yeah, he got a nice key. I think it was an Iron Man.
It was Ghost. I don't know the number.
Yeah. First appearance of Ghost, like 211 or something like that. And the same day that you open it on camera, a few minutes later, you guys just gave it away.
Well, sure. It'll be fun. It'll come back. It's karma. I gotta experience some of that karma myself. I gotta give it out and see if it comes back.
That's right. And you know what? Comic book karma is a real thing. You're aware of it. I'm aware of it. I see it all the time. You see it all the time. And it really is a thing. It's nothing I really thought about until this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
But now it is totally a thing, and it's a wonderful thing. What's your biggest thing as far as comic book karma that you've seen come your way this year?
Oh, that's hands down. Mr. Caleb Murphy sent me the entire Blackest Night run of Green Lantern. Probably 3 weeks ago, a month ago, maybe. On one of our live shows, we opened a package, and it was the whole run of Blackest Night, among other comics that he was donating to the Mystery Mail Call. But he had sent me the entire run of Blackest Night because he knows I'm a Green Lantern fan, and yeah, that's still kind of blowing me away as we speak.
So, did you keep that one, or did you give it away like you did the one I sent you?
I kept that one.
Okay, I see how it is. So, before we get into some of the questions, I just want to kind of go over some housekeeping things real quick, if you don't mind, Ryan.
Go for it. It's your channel, bro.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So, like I said, the Bueller boxes are live right now. There's 66 available. My phone is totally going crazy right now, so they are being sold as we speak. Damn. I have a feeling that they might be gone by the end of the night. Is a good possibility. So, and I can see a notification on my computer right here. The box keeps just sliding over one after another. So, it's very cool. That being said, round 2 is right now. It's going to be sold out pretty quick. Round 3 will start in 2 weeks from tonight. And I want to get into a little bit of some details around 3. It's going to be very special. I'm adding a new twist to the Bueller boxes. And I'm going to kind of tell you guys about it now. And I'll do another video on my Monday coffee and tell you about those as well. Then third round in 2 weeks, we'll have 11 books in it. Plus, it'll have 2 to 3 additional books that are donated from other members in the community. Those are in addition to the books that you get from the 11. So more than likely you'll get 13 or 14 books. The 11 are from my personal collection. And like I said, the 2 or 3 other ones are donated from other people's in the community. A real cool thing that I think I'm doing, I'm going to put a note on every one of the books that are donated, and they're going to be personalized. And I actually have a script right here. I'm going to read it. On there, it's going to say, these books were donated by, insert name, whoever it is. We're just going to use Jeffrey Comic-Con as an example because he's one of my moderators right now. A fellow comic fan and collector in our community. If you'd like the chance to say thank you, please feel free to reach out and say hello. You can find him on blank blank. So if they have a YouTube channel or an Instagram, that information will be on that note. So you'll be receiving other comics from other people in the community. And if you want to reach out and tell them thank you or just make a new friend, that's what's going to be there. So it's kind of a new idea. I'll get a little bit more details on Monday. But Ryan, what do you think of that? I think that's not a bad idea.
It's a very good idea.
So
I like the idea of alerting people when there's something cool in a mystery box. That might be something I have to pass up the ladder. So
there you go. And this, I was showing Ryan before we started. This is a one of the Bueller boxes. This is the shiny box because Ryan wanted to know where the shiny box was last time. Nobody has told me that they got the shiny one, but this is the shiny one for round 2. And there's 11 books in there. And the cover one is Generation X. It's number 1, and it is autographed by one of the creators as well. And there's a certificate in there to authenticate the autograph. So that's kind of cool. I think I've showed that book on my channel before. Let's see. Another thing, we're going to start doing community spotlight live streams on Sunday starting January 6th. That's pretty much what I'm going to invite other YouTubers on the channel, and I'm going to spotlight their channel, usually 3 to 4 guests. And those are going to be Sunday on every 2 weeks, January 6th, the first one. I already have the first month lined up with people who wanted to be spotlighted. So those are all set. But for people that want to be considered to go in there for February, my information is down below. You can just send me an email if that interests you. Please let me know. And then also starting next week on Wednesdays, the Just the Keys series that you guys might be familiar with. That's a weekly series from now on. I actually have filmed a whole bunch of them. And on Wednesdays, a Just the Keys video will be coming out along with all the other regular things. And, let me take a little bit of a breather there, Ryan, because I got a couple other things I want to cover as well. So tell me how your day was.
Oh, my day was full of I got my haircut. I got my haircut this morning after I got off of work at 7. I went and got a haircut, and then I went to sleep, and I'm here now.
You look very handsome. Can everybody see Ryan's new haircut there? It's very, very attractive.
I let it get way too long. I do that every time because I'm too.
And look at that great comic book wall you have behind you there. All those great comics and stuff like that. Come on, Ryan. You're on a comic book channel. You do a comic book channel. You don't have anything on the wall behind you.
No.
You can do better than that.
I know. I just got to move into that studio at Tom's. I got to sleep under the table.
Is that going to happen? Is that on the agenda?
It's going to happen one day. I'll just bring a sleeping bag and he'll never even know.
I can just imagine just a bunch of people just sleeping around the house waiting for Tom to tell them, okay, it's time to film. It's time to film.
Everyone, time to film.
That's right.
Like a dinner bell.
I want to point out a few of the moderators in the chat. Just say thank you. I got Sam's Tangled Web is in there, Jeffrey Comic Con, and John's Comics with Kids. Those are my moderators. I think you're familiar with all those guys and stuff. They're pretty cool guys. Jeffrey Comic Con is doing a live stream on this New Year's Eve. I'll be on there. So if you guys want to jump on over there New Year's Eve, we don't have any dates. I'm single and nobody wants to go hang out with me. So that's where I'm going to be on New Year's Eve. What are you doing anything New Year's Eve?
I will be at work. I will be at work when the year changes. So
when the ball drops,
so to speak. Yes, sir.
Well, with 12 people at the hotel.
Depending on who's there, I might be able to join the chat for a little bit on that channel. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have a good time with Jeffrey and my buddy Sam and all the other guys. And let's see, I got a couple other things on here. You know what? I'll get to that later. So, Ryan, we're going to jump right in, okay? And we're going to talk about the year in review. Both of us have had a very interesting year, to say the least. So let's just go back a year ago today. What were you thinking about? Were you thinking about doing YouTube and stuff?
No, I wasn't even thinking about comics a year ago, honestly. Not really. I was writing. I was doing a lot of I was working on a screenplay like a year ago, tinkering on one that I've been working on for a while. And then in February, Tom reached out and asked if I could help edit some scripts for a couple of podcasts he was working on, and then that kind of took over my entire year. And it's been a completely different year than I would have expected from how my previous one had gone. Yeah, it's
So
totally.
you and Tom, you guys met at the bank, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
actually coming up on 6 years ago. I actually got the job the first week of the year. So yeah, it's almost 6 years to the day.
So just in case people aren't aware of the channel we're talking about, it's Comic Tom 101.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty popular channel. It had a pretty good year.
It has.
So you say that Tom asked you to do the script. So I got to ask you, are you the brains behind the curtain? Are you the brains?
I don't want to. When it comes to like proofreading, I'm the brains. I'll own that one. But he asked me to like edit some, like he did a podcast, his solo podcast he used to do, like directly into the camera off a teleprompter. They were heavily scripted. So it just started with me making sure everything was accurate and spelled correctly and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it quickly became a two-person thing.
What now you have your own channel, and let's not gloss over that, okay? Because you have your own channel, and that's called the Fire Guy Ryan.
Correct.
And there's some intense gaming going on Fire Guy Ryan.
Sort of intense.
So what's the game of choice right now for you?
Spider-Man. That's what I'm playing right now.
Spider-Man on PlayStation 4?
I'm like 19 hours into this game right now, and I'm streaming it like 1 hour at a time, but I'm not doing it nearly as often as I should be. I'm taking it way slow.
Well, the good news is Fire Guy Ryan's channel link is down below in the description. He's almost to 100 subscribers. If we could get Fire Guy Ryan to triple digits tonight, I think he'd appreciate that. And if you want to watch some game, I'm a big gamer myself. I play a bunch of games and stuff. Destiny was one of my favorites. That was pretty much before I was doing YouTube. I was playing Destiny, the first one, and a little bit of the second one. But if you want to go check out Fire Guy Ryan's awesome, epic gaming live streams that he does 1 hour at a time, the link's down below, and go check it out. And then there's this other channel called Comic Tom 101. That's kind of a big deal. Let me ask you this. What was your thoughts when Tom asked you if you want about doing the podcast?
There was definitely like a transition time when I was only doing behind the scenes stuff, like with the scripts. And then he, I think he realized that it was awkward, or that it didn't feel right. And just having one person talking to the camera, like a lecture. So he asked me if I would try coming on, and we could both try doing it like a back and forth. And we did a video about a collection that he found that had some signed celebrity memorabilia and artifacts in there. But one of them was a signed headshot from Jared Fogle, like the Subway guy.
Yeah.
And we looked into it and found out that he was in a promotional comic for like Subway, and DC did like a Subway promotional comic with him. So we went over that on this video, and it was really awkward for obvious reasons. And
sure.
Yeah, it led to us doing this overall Infinity Gauntlet, like issue by issue breakdown series that we've been doing every single week since March, I think, is when we got into that. February, March. I'd have to look back, but yeah, we've been doing that all year.
Was there any hesitation on your part at all when the idea was proposed?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
did he have to convince you? I mean, what was it like? Let's go out for a drink and we'll talk about this.
It didn't take too much convincing. I mean, I was down to try it, and then we looked into the whole Jared Fogle situation, and it became a little more iffy. But it didn't take too much convincing. But I had to be swayed. Aaron will be the first one to tell you that I am a shy, introverted person. So it was useful to help me bust out of that.
So let me take a minute and jump in the chat here, because we got a lot of people in here and stuff. I know we kind of just jumped into the conversation, but let's see what's going on, because there is a ton of people in here. I mean, it gets going, doesn't it? I don't know how you guys keep track. Let's see. Fire Davis, Comic Tom 101, Justin Schroeder, John's Comments with Kids, Let's see, Auto Dog Comics or so, I don't know. Pronouncing the names, man, I always struggle with it, but I try my best.
Yeah.
Discovery Bay Comics, Comic Books NYC, Sam's Tangle Web, Reggie Simmons, Darwin Gomez Comic Collector, Aaron Evans. Is that Aaron? Yep. Okay. Right on. Hi, Aaron. Orb, Coos 187, Chad Lee. How you doing? Adam Murray. Let's see. Jason P. Jeffrey Anderson. Wingnut. I talked to him a little bit earlier. Let's see. I Love Signed Comics. How you doing? He got a Bueller box as well, and he did a unboxing video. He was pretty happy with what he got. So far, I think most people were pretty happy with what they got. I was a little worried.
I was. Yeah, I definitely want to get another one if they're not sold out. Are they sold out? Can you check? Are they sold out?
Discovery Big Comics said 26 have sold so far, and it's been 15 minutes. So they're gonna be gone. Double S Comic Reader. Let's see. Caleb Murphy. Hello.
Hey, Caleb. Thanks for the comics.
Let's see. I know who this guy is. This is my buddy Keith. It's Nearest One. I think that's what it is. That's actually my buddy Keith, and he's in here right now. And I don't know if he saw this the other night, but he's the creator of this independent book that he's working on called Headstrong. And he's a local here, and I hung out with him last week. And I just love his art style. And I read a few of these books, and they're fun books. You know, they're just there's some good comedy in there and stuff like that.
To hold on to the originals like that, though, man. Oh,
yeah. I was like, dude, I felt kind of bad him giving them to me. I mean, I'm giving them back. I'm not keeping them.
Yeah.
I was like, I almost don't even want to touch him, you know, because just in case, you know, something happened to him. But he's in here, and his name is Keith, and it's Headstrong. He's got Instagram as well, and I'm gonna try to get him on as well as one of the spotlights. Because he's doing some really cool stuff, and all he does is just work on the artwork and the book and stuff like that. So, but he's in here. Let's see, Simon Gale. Hello, man. I don't know how you guys keep up, but that's why you guys have multiple people on your podcast, so you guys can keep up with all the chats.
Yeah, I think after a certain point, we just decided like we can't. I rewatched them all later on in the week and watched the live chat go by. But that's what I do too. I sit there and I go back and I'll pop it on my Xbox or on the TV and stuff, and I'll go back and rewatch it and stuff. And because it's nice because I'm interviewing somebody. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the Key Collector Comics last week and stuff. And so I go through and I look at the chat and everything. And so it's kind of nice to go back. And we have a super chat from Scott Farr. I can't make the background go green like some other channel does. I don't have that equipment yet. Can you make your background go green right now? No. I have a green light sign over across the room that I really want to go grab.
That's all right. I might add that to next year's podcast on my show or something like that. But Scott Farr, thank you so much, my friend. His name's on the jacket multiple times, or the vest. And the vest is filling up. And there's a lot of names on the back. I was counting it today, and I was adding all the names from the other night and stuff like that. So, but it's a really cool memory when I sit there and I write down all the names of the people who've done super chats.
Are you gonna put them on the front?
Well, see, I was thinking
you're gonna run out of room.
No, I was thinking somebody said I should get it framed, like the vest, like framed. Yeah. And if I framed it, you wouldn't be able to see the front type thing. Yeah. So I'm thinking about just framing it and getting a new vest when it's filled up and stuff. And people have told me to get a red or a pink vest or something like that. So that might be in the cards. Comic Books NYC is in here. How's it doing? Comic Books NYC. Bake the Snake is in here as well. Just a ton of people. Okay, I'm going to get back to you, Ryan, because this is all about you, brother. This is all about you. You deserve some attention. The show's called Comic Tom when it should be called Comic Ryan 202 or something.
Doesn't have
like
the right ring to
it. Okay. Another question here. What did you think when the channel took off? Were you guys surprised? I mean, because it was going along fine, and all of a sudden it just kind of took off. What were your initial thoughts?
It was crazy. I didn't think we'd even hit like 1,000 at any point, let alone, I don't even remember how long ago that happened. Over the summer? I can't do the math.
No.
But yeah, no, it really took off, and a lot of the I don't know. I can't even express that. That's it's been a crazy year for that reason. To think that we just crossed 8,000 YouTube subscribers, and it's weird to think that there are that many people out there who care. And I know that I'm not on the more popular of the 2 weekly programs that we have, but it's still a humbling experience overall.
Yeah, you're one of those guys that shines. I mean, people notice when Tom puts you in the back on those live streams, and you're sitting in the back. People are like, why is Ryan sitting in the back? Ryan doesn't sit in the back. Nobody puts Ryan in the corner.
I kind of thrive in the back.
So what was Tom's reaction when it started to take off? I mean, was there any point where you guys were like, you know what, maybe this isn't what we want to do? Or did that conversation ever come up?
No, not on my part. I was not privy to any conversations like that. No, as far as I know, Tom, he's been uniquely qualified to kind of hit the ground running and just go. He hasn't really stopped at any one point this whole year. He's got a crazy amount of energy to him that I can't possibly replicate. and yeah, no, he's taking it in stride and adapting and just kind of rolling with it.
Was he like that when he worked at the bank too? Was he just running around to all the different windows? And
no, he was sitting off in his manager office. You know, he's hanging out in the corner, doing his thing, observing.
And was he the guy who hired you? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Best decision he ever made.
It'd be really cool to go back and watch that whole interaction again, because he interviewed me. Yeah, we were sitting down and we had a job interview together. And I don't know, that'd be cool to look back on now and see what that looks like.
And now you guys are on a YouTube channel to talk about comic books, 7 times a week.
We established pretty early on during that interview that we both had an interest for comic books. And once that came up in my head, I was just like, yes. I was so nervous about interviewing at a bank.
So we're kind of talking about comic books right now. So let me ask you, what do you think about the year in comics? Did you have a certain story that kind of stood out? What's your pick of the year?
Oh, man. I am actually really enjoying the Jinx World line of comics by Brian Michael Bendis right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a big fan of Scarlet in particular. It's a series that he's doing with Alex Maleev. That is something that I think, I don't know, it speaks to me for some stupid reason. And for me, that's probably the coolest book that I've discovered this year. It's like a second volume, so to speak. It started in like 2010, I think it was. But that's the coolest book. I've discovered a lot of comic books this year, actually. Way more than any other year. Or probably all other years combined, actually. I've been behind the scenes. I've been reading a whole bunch of comic books.
Well, you have to read all those books for your breakdown videos.
Yes. Yeah, Tom and I sit down and read those back to back probably like twice before we get on the mic and break them down.
What's been your favorite breakdown video that you've done?
Ooh. Like an individual video or like a whole...
let's just do series.
Oh, man. Probably, I think I had the most fun doing the Ant-Man series that Tom and I did. That one was the sense of humor in that story really, really kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting that story to be as fun as it was. So that was a first for me. I hadn't read those before either. So it was a new experience for the both of us, I think.
So are you a collector of comics? I mean, do you like buy key issues? Are you just into reading and kind of that's it type thing? What type of a collector are you? Or would I put you in the category as a collector?
You could call me like a rookie collector, I suppose. I'm about 2 long boxes full right now. And at my peak before this, I only ever had like one whole short box. It was crammed really, really full, but it was like one short box. And those are the comics that are going out right now, actually, in the December mystery mail call. We put out a bunch of my old comics from my New 52 days. Those are getting sent out to some people. But yeah, I don't have any grails that I know of. I don't have any like major keys in my collection, because that aspect of comic book fandom is all pretty new to me this year. Like I'm learning about all of this stuff as I'm going along with the channel, which I think is pretty fun. But yeah, my collection is mostly digital. I have a lot of trades and absolute editions. I like to collect the big oversized hardcovers.
My collection is digital. Really?
I have a lot of digital copies. I came prepared for that one.
That's right. So is Bendis your favorite writer right now? Are you reading any of his Superman at all?
Mm-hmm. I'm a couple issues behind on Superman and Action Comics, but I am getting those too. I was pretty excited to hear he was jumping over to DC.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's probably my favorite writer at the moment.
Did you read any of his runs on like Avengers and stuff like that?
New Avengers was probably the first time I was like really, really interested in. I heard that.
Another Bueller box.
that run of comic books, though, New Avengers was one of the first times I was really, really, really like drawn in and sucked into a comic book story, and that was one of the first things I collected. I went and bought all the hardcovers of those. So yeah, when I started collecting comics, I would get the trades and the hardcovers, and not so much the single issues. I'm doing that now. Yeah. Get my boxes full, but.
So how many titles do you have on your pull list?
Ooh, man, I probably get at least 5 a week. So yeah, 20, 25. I'd have to sit down and actually like list them all, but I know 2 of them are Marvel. Yeah. I get 2 Marvel books at least.
Not Wolverine.
Not Wolverine.
You're not a Wolverine fan, fool. I've been told, correct?
Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. He just gets overused.
Yeah,
I like him when he's used the right way.
He's definitely around pretty much everywhere. So we got another super chat in here from Chad Lee. Thank you so much, Chad Lee. Very much appreciated. And I think I heard my phone go off again. So people are busy watching and buying Bueller boxes at the same time. And I don't know if I said, but the link is down below on the description for the eBay page to where the Bueller boxes are. And I might have left that out, but I'll just tell you guys now. If you're looking for it, or you can just type in Bueller box on eBay. And the nice thing, it's the only thing that pops up. Just type in Bueller box. There it is.
Someone needs to buy me one. Buy me one before they sell out.
They make great gifts, just great gifts.
Exactly, great gifts.
So this is another question here, and this doesn't necessarily have to be just comic books, but do you have a highlight of the year? What was your highlight that you did this year?
Oh man, probably Rose City actually. And
that was your first con, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. That was a pretty big high point of the year for me for various reasons. It feels like a cop out to kind of say the whole experience so far has been the high point of the year. Like this whole channel and the community and Instagram and all of that has been a crazy high point. But specifically going to Rose City was probably my favorite single moment so far of the entire process.
So you got to meet a lot of people there. There was a lot of creators and stuff like that, and obviously Bendis was there. Okay, so without Bendis, who was probably your favorite?
It's all about you, man. You were the first famous person I saw when I went there.
I was sitting there. I was like, I think you guys were texting me the whole time. You're like, oh yeah, there's a really big line on it. Like, yeah, I can't help you guys with that. You're gonna have to wait.
I remember looking in the windows too, and I saw you leaning up against the wall or something. I was like, oh, it's Bueller.
Yeah, we got in like through the special door. It was kind of nice. We were sitting there for like a couple hours. So yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. So you're planning on doing more cons, I take it, correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was the first.
Okay. So Wizard World is the next one. Are you guys coming down for that one? It's not really a big comic book con.
I'm not sure what I don't think we have an actual planned out schedule. At least I haven't checked. I know we're for sure going to Emerald City in March.
Yeah.
But there's probably something before that. I'm the wrong person to ask on that one.
Yeah. Wizard World has theirs in February, and It's a lot different from like a Rose City or Emerald City Comic Con in comparison. It's much, you can buy your car insurance there is the main thing at Wizard World. That's kind of what they're known for. But a lot of cosplay. I like cosplay, you know, and in an excuse I get to ask a pretty lady if I can take their picture. I'm all for it, right?
I remember that video.
You remember that video?
That was a good one.
That's why I take Taylor to those Comic Cons with me and stuff. It works out very well.
Good plan.
Yeah,
she's more approachable.
They're very much. What are you trying to say? Are you giving me a hard time? I try to be approachable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me too.
So another thing for you, I gotta ask: do you have a favorite video from your guys' channel?
It feels like a cop out to use that Rose City example again, but I think that one at least deserves a special mention.
You can't use that one. It's cop out.
It's produced so well though. I got to give a shout out to my boy Slav for editing the hell out of that video because that video was beautiful.
Yeah, but you guys actually broke the law in that video because you were flying a drone in downtown Portland in that video. So that's why your favorite, because you were flying a drone in downtown Portland.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, were you guys a little nervous with that?
I wasn't. Probably because I didn't know that at the time. But it was a really quick. It was like we raised it up and then we brought it back down. It was a real quick process.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, what are they doing? And I kind of see it. I'm like, oh come on. So I'm glad you guys didn't get in trouble.
Other than that, it'd probably be the episode I did with Russ. Russ and I filmed a standalone kind of just discussion that ended up turning into a weird late night just giggle fest, and we were laughing about like poop jokes. That was a fun video.
So are you planning on doing more videos with just you and Russ, or because you guys kind of have a crew there. I mean, it's not just Tom, and Tom really doesn't appear by himself anymore except for maybe the Sunday Q&As. Mm-hmm. Are you guys going to be doing more videos just with different combinations of people?
That's something I would like to try more in the next year. We did that during our Constantine breakdown that we did. Like Aaron and I would just take over I think we did 2 of those, just the 2 of us. And I've done a couple with Russ. And I've been on the mic with Tom's dad and Jeff, but it's always been with Tom there. And it would be cool to try different combinations of people and see what the reaction is. It's something I've been thinking about.
Is Tom standing off to the side while you guys do that? Saying he's probably like more energy, be louder, or something like that.
It's spooky how accurate that is. But yeah. up.
I can only imagine. Like I said, I've said this before. The guy never quits. So my hat's off to him. All to be that in your. He's in his mid-20s, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I was in my mid-20s again, it might be a different type of Bueller. So anyway, I got another question here for you. I asked you what your favorite video was on your channel. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite video this year from the comic book community in general?
Ooh, man, how do you pick?
And just so you know, I didn't tell Ryan any of these questions, so I'm really putting him on the spot here. He didn't know any of these. I got them all written down, and so we'll give Ryan a second there to think about it.
This might have a bit of a recency bias because it was streamed last night, but it was a 3-hour video from Thanatos, Matt, and it was a pretty raw kind of personal video, and that it hit me, man.
Yeah,
great.
Yep, I like I said, we were talking about it before we went live, and I caught part of it. I think you probably caught about a third of it and stuff, and I think it was over 3 hours long. Was that correct?
Yeah, just about. I was at that 3-hour mark.
Yeah, and he was pretty much just laying his heart and soul on the line there, and it comes across, and I think that with the community that we have and the supportiveness that we have in our community, I think it's a really easy choice to make to share it with our community type thing, because we are very supportive type thing. So I'm glad he did that. And then I saw John from John Comics for Kids did a video today in response to that. I don't know if you had a chance to check that one out. You were probably sleeping.
I haven't watched it yet, but I will. I saw there was Green Lantern in the thumbnail, so
yeah. But that's a good one. I like that. That was in the, it was just yesterday. So let me ask you this: before yesterday, do you have a favorite one?
Yeah, I got like a 24-hour memory anyway. So
Yeah.
Before yesterday is basically just garbage in my head. Oh, let me think. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the videos that White Whale Comics is doing. He's got those like artist breakdown videos, and they're coming out just infrequently enough for me to actually keep up with them, which is nice. So I've been following those a lot.
Yeah, he does a great job. He's an artist as well, correct? I've talked to him a few times, and I've been on his channel and stuff, and I want to get to know him a little bit better. Maybe you have, but he's an artist, from what I understand.
I know he's been to art school. Yeah, I've heard him mention that a few times, but I don't know much beyond that. Is he here?
I don't know. I didn't see him. Let's see. Who do I see in here? I got DC Comic Queen. Hello, how are you? That's awesome. Carlito. We all know Carlito. He's always around. Justin Schroeder. Hello. Mr. Garrell. Love me some Mr. Garrell. Brett Hess Art. Chad MF. MF Comics. Chad 90 MF Comics.
That's always a tongue twister.
It is. People have these lines. And Comic Spectre, he's in here as well. All great people. Tony Sanders. There's a lot of people watching, so it's nice to have.
My brother's here.
Your brother?
Yeah, he gave a super chat. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Who's your brother?
DJ Ro Ninja.
I didn't see it. What's going on?
He's creeping. He's creeping in here. He does.
Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
Is there a button just to pick the super chats?
I don't know.
I've never gotten one.
Yeah, you have.
I got to do my own live streams on my own channel. I haven't done one of those yet, other than video game stuff. But that's
a live stream.
That doesn't count.
That does too count. You're doing it, man. You're creating stuff.
No, I'm sitting there playing a game. I can't like divert my brain. A lot of it is just me sitting there.
So I didn't see that super chat pop up. So it was your brother, correct?
That's what he says. He sent me a message and said, I sent you guys a super chat.
All right. Well, I want to tell him thank you for the super chat. I didn't see it in here, but I appreciate it. And any brother Ryan is a friend of mine. So there you go. So I got Area 51 in here also. Soldier Only is in here as well. Just a ton of people jumping in. Stay Puff 1983. A few more questions, okay?
Please.
All right. I wrote them down. And okay.
The debate questions early,
No, the debate was with Tom.
There you go.
That was a lot of fun. I had fun doing that, and I liked reading the comments afterwards and stuff, and really when it comes down to it, and I told this to Tom, we all just love comics. It doesn't really, we're having a good time, and it's fun because we can disagree about stuff like that, and we still go to the comic book store every Wednesday and we buy more comics.
That's what matters.
That's exactly. So I already asked that one, so I'm not going to ask that one. Okay. Do you have any pet peeves about Tom?
That's a question.
Yeah. Spill the beans, man. You're live. We got 115 people watching right now. They want to know, what are your pet peeves about Tom? And I leaned at least 6.
At least 6. I'm going like,
you're on the videos with them. You're spending the days with them. You're putting together those the mail calls and all that stuff, all that good things. So tell us, what are some of your pet? I did a pet peeves video about comics one time. What's your pet peeves about Comic Tom?
Oh man, I feel like I'm full of cop-out answers today. It doesn't sound like a pet peeve, but it's I think people who have been around people like this might understand. But he has such an amount of energy to him that it's almost it's dizzying in a way for somebody like me who's so like I have a classically kind of slow pace.
Yeah.
and it kind of feels like clinging onto a car on the freeway by your fingernails as it's dragging you. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with that kid sometimes, and we've seen it in that video that he put out with his dad. He did a blooper reel.
Yes.
With his dad trying to do one of those outros that go at the end of all of our videos, and it's difficult. I really sympathized with his dad watching that because Tom has a gift for being able to just spout out stuff like that. He's got like that kind of It really worked for him at the bank. Honestly, he's got kind of a good salesmanship bone to him, so that's something that I never had. Honestly, it didn't help me out at all at the bank, and it's not something that comes naturally to me. That level of outspokenness, outgoingness. So
you're saying his level of energy is a pet peeve of yours?
It gets to me sometimes.
Well, I think you guys complement each other very well. It's like the yin and the yang, you know. I mean, if you had two guys going 120 miles an hour the whole time, you'd like you're saying, you'd get dizzy. To where if you have you and him or him and Russ, you know, it complements and it kind of it brings the pace down a little bit for people like me to follow along.
Yeah,
so, I think it works very well.
I think in general, yeah, the pet peeves could be from my perspective of not being as familiar with the material as everybody else in our circle is. So sometimes I get kind of overwhelmed with all the knowledge.
Yeah. So is he just a plethora of knowledge? I mean, you have multiple people on the show. Russ, the Golden Age Guru. I mean, are you just floored by sometimes by just like the knowledge that these guys have? I've had my buddy Sam on here a few times, and like he's one of my moderators, and I can show him a book and he's like, here's the writer, here's the story, here's the artist. I can't do that at all. When you're in your room, are you on that level, or do you plan on being on that level?
I'm on that level with a very, very small sliver of kind of mid 2000s DC and probably more Marvel, actually, to be honest. I know a little bit of modern Marvel stuff, but yeah, the two of especially Russ and Jeff, those guys are just overflowing with knowledge. And when we're not recording, when we're just like hanging out at the house, the conversations that are happening in the background are probably worth recording and putting on the internet. You know, there's a lot of gold happening in the conversations about comics and just knowledge that just goes over my head like they're speaking a different language.
So is it just comics? Do they have any other type of conversation, or is it just comics? I mean, do they ever talk about sports ball?
No.
Anything else? You know,
I think Jeff likes sports. I know that's not for me. I know. Russ does too. Russ likes baseball. I don't care for sports ball.
What about? Do you guys talk video games or anything else? Anything like that?
Erin and I have video games in common.
Oh, she's a big gamer, isn't she?
Yeah.
So what's her game of choice, or a few of her games of choice?
Overwatch, 100%. I introduced that game to her, by the way, just saying. But ever since then, I haven't seen her do anything else. It's just been Overwatch on the console. She didn't play Spider-Man. She didn't play Red Dead Redemption. She's just been playing Overwatch. So
she goes to like gaming cons and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah. She did PAX earlier this year, I think.
There's a retro gaming con that Oregon does at the convention center. I don't know if she's ever been to that one, but I don't know if she's in the retro type thing. But it's kind of a fun con.
Yeah.
And it's a good time and stuff. But we got a couple other super chats in there. We got Mr. Garrell. I love Mr. Garrell for all the hard work you do. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Darwin Gomez, also a $2 super chat. How do you feel about Russ's unpopular opinion? Okay, well, I mean, go ahead, Ryan. How do you feel about Russ's unpopular opinions?
On the Joker, I'm assuming is what that's about. The Heath Ledger Joker opinion that he had.
Yeah, that's probably one of them.
That one in particular, I had to disagree with. I think you could feel it when he said that the first time in that video. People in the studio at the time were all kind of taken aback. But that's a conversation we've had a couple times off the mic beforehand, and Yeah, I don't agree. I think Heath Ledger's the best Joker, personally.
So what about some of his things on comic books? Because I know that he said some things that are he was. Don't you guys have a big thing about like the first appearance of Omega Red, and that was kind of a thing and stuff like that? And let's not even get into the She-Ra thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
You want to tell them the story about the She-Ra?
Yeah, how'd that go down? Oh man, when we were still pretty. It was before, I think, when we started covering the CBSI top 10 list. That's kind of when our channel leapfrogged into a different dimension, I think. But before then, we were still kind of trying to find out what worked for the channel. And we were looking at doing content about news, like kind of current events and happening stuff. And that day, we decided to talk about the controversy that was going on over the first images that were released from the She-Ra cartoon. And yeah, that was a whole...
Yeah, but really, you didn't even really talk about it. That was the thing. That was just a jumping on point to what you guys actually wanted to talk about, which was the Captain America and the whole thing with the Secret Empire. But
Right.
all people heard was She-Ra as a sidekick to He-Man. That's all they heard for the whole video. It's like a little 3-second clip, and it just like because it's so funny because we were texting back and forth.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember that. And you're like, and I was texting you, and I was texting Tom, and you guys were like, there's so much hate for this video. We're thinking about taking it down. And I'm like, don't take it down.
Yeah.
Just leave it up there.
Yeah, it blew over relatively quickly, but yeah, that was a lesson. It was a good lesson to learn.
Yeah. I thought it was great. It's actually one of my favorite videos. And now that She-Ra thing has come out, and I don't think anybody has said a word about it. Really, I guess it's out on Netflix. It's been out for a while.
It's out now, yeah. Nobody seems to care.
And I don't hear anybody talking about it. So apparently it
wasn't that good. I remember saying in that video too, like you gotta wait till at least you get a trailer, if not like the whole show, to judge it before you crap all over it.
And for the record, She-Ra is not the sidekick of He-Man.
She's not?
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe she is now. I don't know. I haven't watched He-Man or She-Ra since I was 12 years old. So things might have changed.
Before my time. That's why I did not know. That's why I was spouting out misinformation in that video. Lessons learned. That's really all there is to say about that. I learned my lesson. I assume Tom learned his too.
So let me ask you this. If I were to ask Tom to tell me something about you, what would he say that none of us know?
That none of us know.
Yeah, that just he knows that you just haven't shared yet. Nothing like that you don't want to share, but something you would be okay with sharing. What would Tom tell me if I was going to ask him to tell me something about Ryan that makes him so special?
Interesting. That is a question I had not thought of before. I would very much like to know that too. That'd be a good question to ask him.
I'll fax you all these questions or email you these questions you can ask Tom.
Yeah, pass this one down. Oh, that is a very good question. Because yeah, what do I provide? What's my value? That'd be good to know.
I think you provide a lot. I think I wish I had a Ryan or a Russ type thing, because mainly it's just me for the most part. I've had other people on the show, and I really like having guests and doing the live streams and stuff like that. I really like interviewing and doing questions and stuff like that. I'd like to have a nice lady sitting right next to me. That would be kind of a nice thing. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I could agree with that, I suppose. It'd be fun to watch, if nothing else.
So 2019, I'm looking for a lady co-host.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, the Bueller's Beauties coming at you very soon. So looking forward to that. So let me ask you, what is something you could tell me about Tom that nobody knows? And don't be too revealing.
Don't be too revealing.
Yeah, we don't want to upset Tom, because I saw one video where he got upset and he was like, "I'm Comic Tom, I'm coming at you," type thing. I don't want Comic Tom coming at me.
That was good. That's a whole other subject.
That was a lot of fun.
Hey, he's here. That's exciting. Let's ask Tom. What is something about you, Tom, that I need to spill the beans on?
Come on. All those times he's told you in the corner, be louder, have more energy. Now's the time, man. Now's the time. Share your thoughts.
That happens a lot. Yeah. First of all, the reminders to speak up, to have more energy. I got to do that right now anyway. But no, you'd be surprised. Like he reached out to me in the first place to ask me for help with editing his scripts, and yeah, he needed the help. He's he needed the help. There was a video he put out once when we were doing our Constantine breakdown, and he spelled Satan wrong in the thumbnail.
It was satin, wasn't it? Satin.
With satin. And when that happened, I took a screenshot. I still have it because it's changed now. It's corrected, but I screenshotted the typo and I sent it to him. And I was like, "Dude, you gotta take that down. You gotta fix that. Like you gotta run the stuff by me first, and then it's okay. Give it the Ryan pass."
Yeah.
On the walking dictionary, unfortunately.
Well, spelling errors happen all the time. I think I labeled Conan the Barbarian. I labeled it Conam, N-A-M, the Barbarian. It's on my new release video that came out yesterday and stuff.
That's an idea for a story, though.
Only one person has said something to me about it, but things happen. Yeah. Barbarian Kung Fu has another super chat. Thank you so much, Barbarian Kung Fu. Ryan, watch Underworld, then do a review. Are you not watching these videos that people are sending you?
It's sitting over here. My cat decided to join me.
Every comic collector has a cat. That's like every comic collector, at least that does YouTube, has a cat. I've noticed. They all make appearances in the videos. And there's his butt. That's great.
That's part of it. Part of it. But no, I've got Underworld and Resident Evil sitting right over here. And I just need to make the time and watch it. I don't sit down and watch a whole movie ever, really. Unfortunately, I get sucked into TV shows a lot, which I tell myself is easier because it's shorter chunks to watch something. But like sitting down for a whole 2 hours is it's a whole thing.
Do you have a show you're watching right now? Anything good?
Oh man, I've been in a weird. I've been rewatching a lot of shows from the olden days that I had started but never finished for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I've been binge watching 24 right now, like a crackhead. Which is a whole mess of nonstop screaming and gunshots. So
I just started rewatching Lost. Just like literally 2 nights ago. I'm 5 episodes into the first season again. Maybe the thing with you can watch Lost and it's a different ending for every time you watch it. So
something new pops out of you every time, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very cool.
I'm thinking John and I are seriously talking about doing a top 5 Lost video episode video of our top 5 thing that we started last week or 2 weeks ago. We're gonna do one on the Lost episodes, I think.
So is that one of your favorites there, Lost?
Lost is definitely up there when it comes to like favorite shows. I always rank them like by favorites and then by best. Yeah, I think those are 2 separate categories. Lost is pretty high in the favorite section for sure.
Comic Tom says Ryan knows the hell out of Lost, like more than most people. There's your fun fact.
Yeah. I know if you are 5 episodes in, I know exactly where you are. Like let's put it that way. It's embarrassing. As a dork.
Well, you're dedicated, man. That's awesome. I was the same way. My favorite show was Boston Legal. One of my favorites. I watched it all 5 seasons multiple times. I was sad to see it go, but that's probably my go-to show that I watch.
Isn't that William Shatner?
Yeah, William Shatner and James Spader, I believe. But let's we were talking about this year, 2018, kind of what we went through and stuff and all the good things that happened for you guys and everything. And we're right on the verge of 2019. Right. Just a few days away. So what are your personal goals for 2019? And do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Last year, I decided to, I did the whole, I'm going to get in shape resolution.
Looking good, man.
It lasted about a month.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think everyone else is probably the same, or hopefully. But yeah,
I've lost like 25 pounds this year, man. I'm feeling pretty good.
busy guy, man. That's good. That makes.
Yeah. It's mainly because my son moved back home and he eats most of the food that I get. So it's instead of me eating the whole frozen pizza, I only get to eat half of it. So that's the main difference right there.
Maybe that's what I need to do.
Yeah. You have a son? There you go. Have him move in.
Have a teenager like a black hole who eats everything, and so I'd starve.
There you go. He's 21. He's 21.
Okay. There you go.
So there
He
you
was
go.
on the video too once, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on there. But he did the short box challenge, and we did a couple haul videos and stuff like that. And those were a lot of fun. I can't convince him to come back. He lives here now, and he will not do a video with me. And I don't know what's going on. So it's okay.
Strike or something. Nobody should watch any Bueller videos until Bueller Jr. comes on.
I tried to convince him to do my intro to my weekly new comics video, the green screen part, and just like, hey, everybody, welcome to Comics with Bueller. I'm not Bueller, or something like that. You know, it'd be kind of fun. So, is that a personal goal this 2019? Are you gonna, be all beefy and stuff like that and work out? Or do you have anything else?
That's always a goal, I guess, but it never happens. But like for comic book goals, for actual, like for real important goals, like comic goals, I'm thinking like I want to pick a grail. I don't have any kind of grail book. I don't have any old keys that are like on my list. I'd like to start collecting older books. I think is probably something, or just collecting more in general. I don't have a whole lot of variety in my log boxes. It's a lot of modern comics. It's a lot of Green Lantern now. Caleb, thank you. But yeah, that's why I've been buying mystery boxes. I bought your box, and I've bought a couple boxes from Certified Comic Shop.
Yeah,
I like diversifying my collection and the surprise and the randomness of it all. So I want to try and spice up my long boxes a little more.
Do you get a discount on the mystery mail call at all? Or
no, Tom's dad got one. I don't know if he still gets it. And I've thought about it, but I know like if I got one and if I opened it and if the key happened to be in my mail call, that would be really I would feel really bad if I opened it up and got like the New Mutants 98 or something like that. That would kind of destroy everyone's confidence, I think, in the whole endeavor.
Well, I hope if you do get some sort of discount, or maybe save some money on shipping or something like that.
Yeah, I get what I deserve, I think.
So what would you say would be 2019? We talked about like a New Year's resolution for you. Mm-hmm. What do you see for the Comic Tom 101 and the bags and boards in 2019?
Oh, man. Did you say in 2019 or 18?
19. The year to come, man.
Next year.
Yep.
Well, for me, honestly, we're talking about getting me more involved with the channel and having more time to donate to the channel, if that's the way to look at it. So now that things are picking up more with our channel, the option is there for me to decrease my hours at my job and then start doing more with the podcast. So that would be something I would like to do more of moving forward. Less of the day job, the night job, really, and more of the YouTube, more of the comic book thing. So do
you see that happening? Make it full time? I mean, let's be honest, man. Let's put a date on it. I mean, the way things are going, do you see? Yeah. What, like, let's say July. Do you see it by July? It's like, you put in your 2 weeks notice and man, you are Comic Tom 101 full time.
That is kind of like the end goal. Well, I don't want to say end goal because that's obviously the beginning, but
yeah,
that is kind of what I see happening at some point. I don't have any kind of date. I'm like in my head, it's a rough like 2019.
Sure.
Sometime in the next year, I would like for that to happen. We'll see what happens though.
Well, I hope so, because I think that I mean, it's not, you guys aren't putting out enough content, man. You gotta get on board. That one a day thing is getting stale.
Yeah, it used to be a really impossible goal for us. Like five a week was a big deal for us, and then it became 6, and now 7, and now 7. You know, one video a day is almost not enough at this point. Like, yeah, having the ability to do more is kind of where I'm looking forward to in the next year.
That's very cool. I got my buddy in here, Robert Galvin. I just saw his name scroll past the chat here, and I don't know if you knew this, but Robert Galvin, he sent me a act of kindness for the Christmas present, and he sent me a 10-pound ham halfway across the United States of America.
I saw that,
and it is the coolest thing I've ever gotten in my life, dude. I mean, it's one of those stories that will never go away, and I just want to tell him thank you for that, because it's still sitting in my refrigerator right now. So
you got to get it slapped,
huh? I'd love to get it slapped. I want to like somehow get it like Jurassic Park, how they covered the insects in the amber and stuff like that. You know how that, and I like to preserve. Encase it in amber and make it like a statue or a trophy or something like that I could just have on display all the time. My ham, it's freaking fantastic. I mean, you guys got honey, I got a ham, so it's good stuff.
Just a big rotten hunk of meat behind you. That'd be well,
great. That's why I got to get it encased. I got to get it encased so it doesn't go bad. That's what I'm going to look into it, see if it's I don't know if that's possible. You know, like carbonite or something like that. That's not really
they preserve like, you know, deer and stuff for hunters. You know, there's got to be a way to do it. Just hang it on your wall.
I'll hang it on my wall. I'll frame the vest. I'll have that hanging next to it.
A very strange backdrop.
Yeah, but people, new people, it's like, what channel is this? What am I watching?
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe.
There's another guy I wanted to give a special shout out to. His name is Jeffrey Anderson. I don't know if he's watching right now. He goes Jeffrey Anderson or G-Man or Gopher Man. If he's watching right now, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. He's also like halfway across the country, and I've talked to him on Facebook Messenger, and he's a good guy. So I just wanted to take a second and tell him thank you, and I hope you're watching. And I don't know how many of the Bueller boxes are left. Somebody a while ago, somebody said that there was 50 already sold, and I don't know how many. If somebody in the chat is able to take a look and let me know how many are left, I would appreciate it, because we're actually going to wrap it up here pretty quick. But I think they sold pretty well. I got a lot of work to do this weekend.
Dude, that's incredible. He sold out in like an hour.
Yeah,
maybe.
Jeffrey Comic-Con says 55 sold in just a little over an hour. So there's 11 left, and there's actually slabs in the Bueller box. Did you know that?
I saw that nice little collection you got there of slabs for $100. Was that right?
$100. It was 29 slabs for $100. The guys were just they wanted to. It was at an antique shop, and this antique shop has been there for a long time, and they're having a half off. Everything in the store was half off, and they had the whole box of slabs were marked at $10 each. You could just pick whatever you want. So it's half off that, so $5. And then I asked the guy, I said, hey, do you want to get rid of the box? He's like, sure. I go, well, there's like 28. Would you take $100? He said, yep, take them. So I was like, perfect. So, and that's it. And, they came out to be, what, $3.50 a piece for a slab book. I mean, that's less than cover price of the books that were in the slabs.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have very many slabs. So I was like, oh, I'll buy them and I'll throw them in the Bueller box next round. So I gave some away as gifts, and so I think I finished with like 22 or 23 of the slabs left. And the reason why I had 66 Bueller boxes is because there's like a 1 in 3 chance of getting a slab. So every third Bueller box will have a slab in there, and it's the same price. And it's in the description and stuff like that, but same price. You just get a slab book for really cheap, and I don't know if people want them, but they're gonna get them, this time around. And maybe some of that karma will come back around. I'll find another box for $100 or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a find.
Do you have any slabs yourself?
I don't. That'd be another thing to add to my goal list for 2019.
Oh, well, see, if the Bueller boxes sell out, you're not going to get one from me. You're going to have to pay full price for them.
I'm going to be scrambling once we're done here. That's the first place I'm going.
That's all right, man.
That's
all right. I think, what do they say? 11 left. There might be, I think I heard the thing go. I think there might just be 10 left. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Carlito says Bueller will be buying slabs only then. Oh, did you hear that again? Just ching. It's like the home shopping network.
You're doing good. Killing it.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of have it. I think I was telling you it's going to be every 2 weeks. I'm going to do it, and it's like the weekend of like this weekend. All I'm doing is packing them up and getting them ready to ship out, and that's the only way I can manage doing it. I don't know how you guys manage the 600 or I don't know how many you have now, but the 600 subscribers and a monthly box being shipped out. And I've talked to Tom and I've talked to you about this just logistically in general. It's I have to take a step back. I was doing the math in my head, just what you guys go through and how many bags and boards you go through and how many long boxes of books. Describe it to me the task. Is it like a weekend task getting all these together with multiple people?
So we're at about 500. I think that's the rough number that we're at right now. 500 monthly mystery mail calls going out. Geekstreet101.com, by the way.
Link is down below, by the way.
That's exciting. That's great. But so there's like 5 or 6 comics in there. There's a trade in there. There's the art that goes in there. So they go out in 2 waves in the month, and there's one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. So every other week we do half of them. So yeah, about 250 boxes. And there's usually at least 3 of us, if not more. Tom is there actually picking out which he's assembling the comics because I got no idea which ones are keys and what a good box looks like. So Tom is in charge of doing that. Tom and Russ do that, and then Slav and I go through and I put all the trades in there. That's kind of a task that I've been taking on lately.
So if you don't like your trade, that's on Ryan.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. But I'm assembling everything and getting it all ready, and then we hand it off to. It's usually Slav who's the one that's there, and he's there helping out and actually sealing them up and doing the shrink wrap portion of it, and then we box them up and send them out, and it's a whole it's about a weekend.
Very cool.
As far as
you guys probably have a good time though. You guys are probably sitting there and got the music playing, and it's kind of like a comic book party.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone wants to come help out, it's a lot of fun, Bueller.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody has volunteered me to help if I ever come up there. So apparently that's what I'll be doing. Big Will said the next ka-ching will be me. Thank you, Big Will. I think they're probably almost gone, which is very cool. I'm glad to give the books out to the community, and I don't know if you know this, but a lot the books that I'm in the Bueller box, I'm eliminating almost my whole collection first, and or I'm going to downsize quite a bit. And so a lot of these books are they're ones I'm finding, and then there's also a lot of my collection I've kind of decided to kind of downsize, so they're coming from my personal collection, so I'm kind of happy to be sending those out. Yeah. But let's go ahead and wind it down. This has been a lot of fun. I'm looking on my list here. I'm pretty sure I got with everything. Like I was saying before, the community spotlight, we're going to start doing that on the 6th of January. And that's going to be a second live stream. And that's going to be every 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to doing that. Don't forget to check out the Comic Core. I don't know if you watched the Comic Core, Ryan, but it's a show that I'm on right after this show at 7 o'clock on Friday nights. And I've let Tom know and stuff about it, and he's got an open invitation if he ever wants to come on there. And you do as well, my friend, if you ever want to come on the Comic Core and hang out with a bunch of people. I don't know if you're familiar with many of them. I know Cat Ren Figures. I know Tom's a fan of her. She's on there with me. the great legend, Seawood 19, Chad, the Comic Core, and Paul. I don't want to forget anybody. If I do, they're going to yell at me. But that's a live stream on Friday nights. It's on right after this channel, or after this live stream. The link is down below. And the reason I wanted to bring them up is because they are my guests for next week. So the Comic Core crew is going to invade Comics with Bueller next week. So there's going to be 6 of us, actually 7, because Kat Wren, she's got her cameraman, Mark. She sits there next to him, and every now and then she lets him talk, but not very often. So the Comic Core will be the guest for next week. I'm looking forward to that. So, Ryan, you're going to have to check that out.
I will. That'll be cool.
We got another super chat from Scott Farr. It says 55 Bueller boxes sold so far. I think it might be more. I think it's Comic G-Man says 61. 5 boxes left. All right, we're going to be on here for about 4 more minutes. Do you think we can sell the 5 boxes in 4 minutes?
That's so cool.
Anyway, that's just more work for me. So that's all right.
Yeah, you don't want to get too many to do. It's a whole. I'm sure you're feeling it now too. Yeah, assembling and getting all those sent out is a whole task.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I didn't think about it at first, but I was like, oh man, New Year's Eve was Monday, and then New Year's is Tuesday. So I'm gonna try to get. Our post offices open on New Year's Eve?
Yeah. Which one is the bigger holiday as far as post offices are concerned? That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they'll be up. So all of them will be out by Wednesday for sure. Some of them will go out on Monday if it's open, and then for sure on Wednesday, but obviously not on Tuesday because I believe that is a holiday if I'm not mistaken. Ryan, I'm going to turn it over to you and just kind of tell people about your the Comic Time 101, and don't forget the Fire Guy Ryan channel. That's almost probably over 100 subscribers now, but you have the floor, my friend.
Oh, wow. I have the floor. That's exciting. I never get the floor. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. This has been really cool. I haven't done something quite like this yet. So this was my first time doing like an extended kind of free form hangout like this, I guess, with no real topic per se.
You always remember your first time with Bueller.
Oh, yes. Always remember. But no, let's see. So my own channel is Fire Guy Ryan, and I am like 19 hours into the Spider-Man game for PS4. I'm almost done, I think. I have somehow remained spoiler-free this whole time. I'm not sure how it ends or when it ends, but I'm coming up on that, and I think I have an idea for what I'm going to play next. I'm gonna keep it to like comic book related content for the foreseeable future. There's enough there, I think. No. I think comic book video game streaming is probably the easiest thing that I can contribute at the current moment with my present setup. But let's see. Other than that, we've got the Infinity Gauntlet coverage that we're doing on Comic Tom's channel. That's ongoing, and that will be ongoing for probably like the next 10 years. That's a whole mess. There. We recorded the next 2 episodes of that 2 days ago when I was over there for the live show. So we've got a couple of those coming out soon. But yeah, no, other than that, it's kind of smooth sailing for me. I've got the easy job.
Very cool. Well, you do it well, and then you get to go to the other job at the hotel and and be all cordial. And I've seen you in your outfit and stuff with your tie and stuff and looking all fancy and stuff like that.
Fun.
Yeah, you should wear that outfit on a couple of times on your podcast, man. I think that would just be hilarious.
That would be fun. Just show up there immediately at like 8 o'clock in the morning after I'm off work. Or just
if you have a name tag, with the name tag on. You gotta have the name tag on.
Of course.
Does the name tag at work say Fire Guy Ryan or just Ryan?
It needs to say Fire Guy Ryan.
It should. You need to put that on there. I got a couple of quick questions in the chat here. I just want Steve B said, how many comics do you own, Bueller, over or under 10,000? I have over 10,000. I think something around 14,000 comics, and that's within 1 year time. Have I purchased a little over a year's time? I got 14,000, so it's time to get rid of them because I can't do another 14,000 books in a year. So I'm going to try to eliminate that. And maybe by next year, I'll only have 4,000. That'd be a little bit better. It says Ryan needs 4 subs to hit 100.
Holy!
I'm sure the link is down below. Fire Guy Ryan. Why aren't you watching Fire Guy Ryan? He is one half of the Comic Tom crew and stuff. Or, well, there's more. He's a big percentage of the Comic Tom crew.
Not sure what the pie chart looks like, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway. All right, Ryan. So I think, I'm looking here. This Comic G-Man says 64 sold, 1 Bueller box left. Comic Tom, come on. There's 1 left. Ryan wants it. Buy it for Ryan. That's all right. I'm putting him on the spot. Well, Ryan, I want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight. I was really happy to get you on here. I texted you a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Ryan, I want you as my guest, to close out the year and stuff like that. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and, waking up, because I know you're sleepy and stuff like that. And you got a new haircut. You got all fancied up. I got my Han Solo vest and the white shirt going just for you.
Hey.
And Ryan, you're at 103 subs right now. So congratulations, buddy.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Now I have to do things.
Yeah, now, man, now the ball's rolling.
Now I need to provide content.
So Ryan, I just want to say thanks again. I appreciate it. And I want to say thanks to everybody in the chat. I want to say thanks to my moderators, Sam's Tanger Wed, John's Comics with Kids, Jeffrey Comic Con. Like I said, he's doing a live stream on New Year's Eve. Go check that out. His link is down below, and all those guys' links are down below. I will be on the Comic Core here in about 15 minutes. The link is down below for that as well. And we're going to talk about comics, kind of a year-end thing. Should be a lot of fun. Do you want to just say a quick goodbye, and I'll take over from there?
It feels weird to not say geek responsibly at the end of a video like this.
Yeah, that's on the other channel. I got my own thing.
That's how it always ends.
Yeah.
I gotta go later.
There you go. I want to say thanks so much for everybody taking the time to watch. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. We'll see you next time.